it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Dutch door card. This fun fold is part of my September 2020 Stamp of the Month Club. My Stamp of the Month Club includes a stamp set that I feature differently each month and a card kit to make 2 each of 3 different designs. These cards feature the 2020 to 2022 in colors: Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, and Cinnamon Cider. And I've incorporated some of the designer paper from the designer paper pack in all of these cards. I love the Life is Beautiful stamp set because it includes stamps to cover all the seasons. So you can make cards for winter, fall, and spring and summer as well. Today I'm going to give you the cardstock measurements and show you how to make this Dutch door card, as well as share 2 more samples using the same fun fold technique. So let's go ahead and get started. The 2 pieces for the card base, I'm using Just Jade here. The first one is 4 by 3/16 inch by 8 3/4 inches. This seems like a weird number because it is just 1/16 of an inch less than a normal card. So normally the card is 4 1/4 inches, but I am 1/16 of an inch shorter so that the second piece can wrap around it. So this piece is 2 1/4 inches by 8 1/2. And then I scored at 2 1/8 inch from each side. So 2 1/8 and 2 1/8, or 2 1/8 and 6 3/8 inches. So this is how the card base works. This is going to fold together like a gate fold, and they should meet in the middle. Now if they don't, and you can see I have just a little tiny gap in there, you're just going to go ahead and rock it so that they do meet in the middle, and then you can take a bone folder and sort of redo the crease. Sometimes cardstock is a little bit wider, and that's not a problem at all. So we'll just make them meet in the middle. And then this piece is going to be on the outside of our card base. And this one, the flap is going to fold down. So when you open the card, you have a top flap, and then you have the 2 gatefold tabs on the side. So this is going to line up on the back, so that the doors open in the front. Again, they should meet. And then this should also meet in the middle. Mine slightly overlaps, and that's fine. If it doesn't, again, you're just gonna meet it in the middle and then rock it back with your bone folder. So let's get to some stamping. On the piece of Whisper White cardstock, this one is 3 inches by 4 1/4. We're going to stamp the tree. Now, my in color ink pads are all pretty brand new, and that makes them extra juicy. So I like to take a plastic spoon and just move the ink over so that it's not so juicy on the front. Now let me show you really quick. These ink pads from Stampin' Up! Are designed so that the ink pad hangs upside down. That's so that the lightweight ink stays at the top of the ink pad, which makes it extra juicy. So we're just going to move some of that ink over with that spoon so that we can see all the beautiful detail in the tree stamp. This is kind of a distinctive stamp, and it's got lots of details in the trunk that we don't want to miss. So we're going to stamp this on the cardstock. It is a little bit bigger than the cardstock piece itself, and that's fine. I'm just going to go over the edges, and then nice, even, gentle pressure. And when we peel it back, you can see the beautiful detail in the bark. Now, if you're stamping this and your image looks really, really dark and kind of muddy, that might be because your ink pad is really juicy. So just go ahead and try that trick with the spoon, and I bet you'll have much nicer images. The next step is going to be the leaves. And so for that one, we're using the dot stamps. Let's set this aside. I'm going to do the same trick with the spoon and just sort of move some of that ink over on the ink pad. And then I'm stamping several times to fill the space. Now there are leaf stamps in this set, but because I'm using that for the fall, I decided I would use the circles for this summer card. The last color on this card is the Magenta Madness. This is a really, really bright color. I'm going to use the other end of the spoon. My stamp here is really small, so I don't need to do the whole ink pad. But this one definitely has a lot of detail, and you're going to see a difference with that spoon technique. You can see all the little detail there, in the birdhouse. I'm going to do one more little birdhouse on the inside piece. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this is just going to go on the inside of the card. You could add some inside words or just leave the space big enough to write a nice message. Just got some ink on my finger. All right, now is the assembly. So we have a piece of Magenta Madness cardstock. This is 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2. And so that's just going to be the layer for our front piece. And then this inside piece is going to go inside. And I'm just going to center that in the space. And then for the 2 sides, we have 2 inch by 2 inch pieces of designer paper. And all of our designer paper is double-sided. So you actually have a choice. I think I'm going to do the other side as to which side you put up. The card kit, when you get it, will include 2 different designs. So like this one has the words, and then you'll have some other design choices here. So you can create your cards with whichever design you want when you put them together. I'm putting the designer paper so that it meets in the center. And then we have a little bit of outline on either side. We're going to attach this piece with Stampin' Dimensionals, and you want to be careful that you're only putting adhesive on the top because you don't want to glue the whole card closed. This piece is going to open with the top flap, so we want to only attach it to the top. Now you can have yours be straight or you can go a little off center. I think I'm going to go just a bit off center. And to finish off this card, I'm just going to add some rhinestones, which will be included in the kit, and a little piece of ribbon. I wanted to incorporate some ribbon, but the tree is so big, I wasn't sure where to put it, so I decided just to do a little knot, and then add that to the card with a glue dot. So let's just give this a little trim. All right, there is the finished card. Which paper do you like better? Do you like the words, or do you like the pink Magenta Madness texture? You'll have to leave me a comment and let me know which you prefer. It's not too late to sign up for the Stamp of the Month Club, so look for the link to information about this in the video description. And if you would just like to purchase the Life is Beautiful stamp set, you can do that in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Let me show you 2 more of the Dutch door cards real quick. I had a lot of fun making this one for Halloween using the Have a Hoot bundle from the August to December 2020 mini catalog. I used some of the Plaid Tidings designer paper and the Cobwebs embossing folder for the background. And then inside we have another little owl who says boo. This other card uses some designer paper from the mini catalog, as well as the Host stamp set called A Merry Hello. And then it's got a stamped message on the inside. So you can see this Dutch door card is good for any occasion, any season. You can mix and match your designer paper, embossing folders, make your images a little bit smaller. In fact, these 2 white pieces are a little bit smaller than the tree piece. The white on these cards is 2 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches, layered on a piece that is 2 3/4 inches by 4. So if you want to have a little bit more of your background showing, you can make a little smaller image. Really, you can make your image any size that you want. I hope you'll give this card a try at home. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Happy stamping!